Hey everybody, this is Analytical Survival, and today I want to talk about putting it all together. And by that I mean putting together all the essential materials for effective and successful homeschooling. Now, before I begin, I want to make one thing perfectly clear, and that is that this video will showcase my particular teaching style. Your style and approach may differ. I completely understand that. I'm only sharing what works for me, and more importantly, I'm sharing what works for my son and my family. Please keep that in mind as you go through this video. Okay, let's get started. Okay, first we have our living room, and it's here at this very place where I keep most of our libraries and record-keeping materials. My son also uses this room for playtime, yes, but I myself use it mainly for keeping track of my son's progress. And I'll show you how I do that in just a little bit. But here's a good pan shot of the room that, again, houses our libraries and record-keeping materials. This area in particular is where I keep records of past work done. It's pretty old school, just a few wall-mounted clipboards. It holds all his worksheets, which at this time comprise of math worksheets, writing and sentence worksheets, and geography, science, as well as Bible worksheets. This area here is where I keep pre-printed material. So if I'm in a rush, I can just come here and pull sheets for him to work on. Now, keep in mind that I myself designed and built all these modules myself, and I did so in order to make the entire house conform to my daily workflow. That is, I wanted to have all my homeschooling tools at eye level, at the ready, and within easy reach. Okay, let's talk about curricular pacing. Now, no matter how good of a teacher you think you are, it's very, very easy to wander off pace. So you're going to want to log your daily progress. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Now, some find that a binder works for them, and that's totally fine. But I personally prefer a large, in-your-face reminder like the one you see here. It's a big old yearly schedule divided into 12 months, and every time I walk into the house, there it is staring me in the face. It's a reminder of what my mission is and of what my daily purpose is. Here's a closer look. We have math problems, writing sentences, books of the Bible, phonics, reading books, prayer time with my son, physical exercise outside, world geography, art, science, and extracurricular activities. Now, as you can see here, there are sometimes whole days where schooling was suspended here and here. Now, in my case, since I don't have a babysitter, these open spaces occurred whenever I had to do construction work around the house. And so schooling had to be temporarily suspended. It's just the way it is, and it's the reality of my situation. Next up is the book and flashcard library. Now, for those of you who don't know, I already made a detailed video about this module in particular. So if you haven't seen it, I'll leave a link in the description box. I basically store all of our mini sets of flashcards here, and that way they're always at the ready and available for us to use at any time. And they do come in handy, especially when we travel, and that way he always has something to review on the road. Now, over here are a set of Montessori geography jigsaw puzzles. Again, I've already done a separate video on each of these puzzles, so if you haven't seen them yet, I'll leave the links in the description box. Now, I highly recommend a monthly calendar. It helps with your student's ability to track time. Not only that, but after a while, your student will enjoy writing in the numbers each and every day, as you see here. Okay, let's turn our attention to the kitchen dining area. It's here where we do most of our morning routines. It's also the area of the house that gets the most sunlight. My wife and I actually built by hand this ceramic table along with the booths you see here over 12 years ago, and it has served us very, very well over the years. This area here is for audio-visual learning only. I only allow music throughout the day via Pandora or audiobooks that my son can follow along to. Now, I actually created and recorded these audiobooks myself, and it's a great way to start the morning because he actually hears my voice reading directly to him. Plus, if I'm in a hurry, I can click on a playlist of 10 audiobooks, and my son can be self-entertained while I make breakfast, make lunch, wash the dishes, hang the laundry, whatever. Yeah, it's not the greatest way to read to your child, I know, but when you're in survival mode, you sometimes do what you gotta do, and this works for us.
Clickety-clack.
Here's the arts and crafts storage area. When we're ready to paint, we get all our paints from here, and we get our brushes from here. Or, if we're drawing, our pens and markers are here as well. Finally, we use this 26 by 20 inch sketching board for all our painting, drawing, and coloring projects. Okay, let's talk a little bit about educational posters. Folks, if you're going to be doing any kind of homeschooling, you're going to have to get used to the idea of having educational posters plastered all about your home. It's just a reality of homeschooling life. In fact, I myself went a step further and created specialized areas for our posters. I placed all of them at my son's eye level, making sure that each poster area was powered with its own illumination, and then I glued the posters onto poster boards so they would last longer. Yeah, this took a lot of work, but hey, if you're serious about what you're doing, why not go the distance? That's my thinking, at least. In this particular area, I have two poster areas on top of one another. Here in the top area, I plan to place posters that showcase how the American government is organized. Over here in this corner area are even more posters. In fact, my 5-year-old son has actually already mastered all the material in these posters, which means I have to replace these posters sometime soon. And here are even more posters, which again, he has already mastered all this material as well. So there's more work I got to do here to replace all these posters. These posters here are actually relevant. In fact, they'll remain relevant for the remainder of this year. Thus far, my son has almost learned all of his addition tables, something we're both very, very proud of. However, after we finish the addition tables, we'll be moving onward and forward to the multiplication tables and then on to the division tables. And that gigantic task alone should take us the rest of this year and most likely into 2018. Now, we'll be learning other things along the way. It's just that our major focus will be on the math tables and also the ability to do addition, multiplication, and division problems as well. Now, a big part of my son's learning, I believe, has to do with the videos that I create for him. And for that, I employed our projector, which you see here. Now, to date, I have over 100 of these educational videos, and I plan on producing many, many more. Believe it or not, they've actually taken hundreds of hours to produce, if not thousands of hours. Where did you get the time, you ask? Easy. On the weekends. That's right, I simply park myself at a cafe for 6 to 8 hours a day, and I create video content on my laptop for my son. Now, keep in mind, not every homeschooler does this. I understand, but quite frankly, I'm not interested in being like other homeschoolers. I'm interested in being who I am and using whatever abilities I possess for my son's potential. That's what I'm interested in. Furthermore, just so you know, these videos that you see here are not for others, so please don't ask if I can make them available to you. I do, however, plan on making them available to only one person, and that person is my son. Hopefully one day, when I'm long gone from this earth, my son can effectively teach his own children using his dad's educational videos. And that, in a nutshell, is the legacy that I'm working towards. Okay, this is Analytical Survival saying, stay safe, my brothers and sisters.